Well, 5 gold medals to be decided, all of them in non-Olympic classes, and this is the first of those 5. The women's lightweight pairs, the Diaz sisters for Mexico in lane number 1. Next to them, a mixture of youth and experience for the United States. Facing you there in the stroke seat, Linda Murray. She's the experience, and behind her, Rachel Anderson in her first Senior World Championships. Lane 3, Argentina, Patricia Conte, and in the stroke seat, Elena Urbano. They were second last year. And then for Zimbabwe, a reorganised crew, it's Jill Lancaster on the right there in the bow, and Nicola Davis in the stroke seat, Lancaster replacing Jonina Simpson. And in the British boat, it's Joanna Nitsch who's not there. It's Jane Hall facing you in the stroke seat, and Melindy Myers who's behind her in the bow. So just 5 in this particular final. We've had 1 or 2 races like this in the regatta, and actually they've turned out to be really cracking races. So let's hope that's what we're in for now.
Looks like the British crew have gone into the front. British crew interesting. Jane Hall was rowing in the British double. Very disappointing for them. They came 18th overall, and she's been drafted in here to sit in instead of Jo Nitsch. Nitsch came into this pair last year as a last-minute substitute as well, and won a gold medal. She's now had to give way to Jane Hall because she's injured her rib, and the British pair are untried. But Jane Hall is very experienced as a rower. She's a good sculler, but she's won medals in the lightweight 4s in the past, and here they've got to knit together. Because of a headwind, they're going to have a bit more time than they might have expected to knit together in this race, and they and the United States are going head-to-head here, moving away from the rest of the field.
Yes, it's already beginning to show signs of a pattern as we see Linda Murray there. Linda from Ithaca, Harvard graduate, and also assistant lightweight coach at Cornell University. Very experienced, twice a world champion in 94 and 95 in the lightweight 4. So the British experience, but so are the Americans.
Ooh, having trouble there with the rough water. But they're just still trying to settle in, but they're up a little bit. They're up around the 35 strokes a minute mark to the United States, who are at 33. United States sitting there very comfortably, sitting there in the rough water, just making sure they're putting the strokes together one at a time and looking very, very relaxed and loose. The British really racing for it, trying to find a rhythm together, trying to lock it together. Zimbabwe sitting there in 3rd place at the moment.
Mexicans out on the far side. Interesting. No entry last year from the Mexicans in this particular boat class, but they'd have it all to do against the 2 crews leading up there. If they could get anywhere near the bronze medal, that would be very good. But through the first quarter, and it's America who narrowly have the advantage from Britain. On the far side, Mexico, then Zimbabwe, and just looking at the back there, Argentina not doing as well as we'd expected in lane number 3, I have to say.
Well, the conditions look pretty nasty here. You can see how difficult it is to hold onto your blades all the time. Quite a few of the crews are losing blades and catching them again. But it's the same for everyone. That's why you've got to think in your head. Whatever's happening in my boat, someone else is having to contend with it in another boat. And here you can see the Great British crew and also the American crew, neck and neck, bow ball for bow ball, changing the lead all the time. Jane Hall must be pretty exhausted. She's already had to do 4 very, very close races this week in the lightweight double, and she's now got into the boat to do a very long race in the pair.
Having said that, Miriam, Jane is one person who just loves to row.
And she loves this type of race as well. Neck and neck, that's the way she likes it.
Well, she's going to guide Melindy. Not quite as experienced. This, by my reckoning, this is Jane's 7th World Championships, whereas Melindy, this is World Championship number 3 for her.
Yes, Melindy's also a very good racer as well. She's tried out for the double in her single. She's not as natural a sculler, but she is a very, very good racer. Both these girls are.
Well, Melindy, great opportunity here to get a gold medal. So far in the World Championships in her international career, she's had silver, she's had bronze, so she's looking for that gold to at least complete the set. But Linda Murray, she's tough. She knows what this is all about. She's had 17 years experience.
Yes, and she enjoys racing as well. She's been in the lightweight 4 up until it was dropped, and then she took over in the lightweight pair. And I think she felt last year they was robbed. She felt that the conditions meant that they got very cold and they didn't perform as well in their race. As they were expected to do and as she wanted to do. So she's back here again to get her revenge.
Well, this is fascinating because these two crews are away from the rest now as we come to the halfway stage, and there's nothing in it, really. The British, if anything, have just got their bow ahead there as we come through the halfway mark, and it's Great Britain fractionally from the United States. But you get nothing for leading at halfway. It's leading at the finish that really matters. And Linda Murray, Rachel Anderson, interesting Rachel on the right there, born in Singapore, keen cross-country skier in the winter-time.
Not in Singapore, I should hope.
Not in Singapore, no.
Perhaps water skiing.
But she's still studying, and, well, I'm sure she's enjoying this first taste of the World Championships.
I'm sure she's enjoying this race. It's a pretty close one, and the lead's still being exchanged between those bow balls. You can see 1 minute the Americans surge ahead, and then you see the Brits come back. You can see Jane take a quick look round there, and they're going past the athletes' enclosure there, and you can see people standing watching this exciting race.
Well, this is also interesting because the battle for the bronze medal, worth remembering that there are 1 or 2 crews there who would really value a bronze medal, and Zimbabwe and Mexico at the moment are fighting it out. Argentina are the crew who at the moment are lagging a little bit.
If you watch the British pair, they're very close to the boys on this side. They're having quite a struggle to keep off the boys on this side. Yeah, the steering is difficult in these conditions because the wind's coming off the side of the number 6 station a little bit. Headwind, but just slightly off the side, and that's making it quite difficult for steering.
Well, here are the Zimbabweans, Jill Lancaster and Nicola Davis. Well, quite interesting. They're well behind, but they're certainly at the moment, Dan, they're getting the better of the other 2 crews. And Argentina, who've had real problems in this difficult water. But now Jane and Melindy being tested again by the Americans.
Now, this really is real battling stuff, and for lightweights into this headwind, it's a long race. But it looks like the British have just got the edge again. They're beginning to move now. They're moving well, and they've taken about 1/3 of a length out of the American pair.
Last quarter of the race now, and it really is very difficult.
This is where it really counts, especially in a crew that's been together for a long time. When you get tired, it becomes more natural, whereas the Brits have only just got together. Are they going to be able to hold it together for this last 500 metres when they haven't rowed that much as a crew?
But this is also, Miriam, about she who wants it most.
Blood and guts.
Absolutely. Zimbabwe now in a solid 3rd place, and this is looking very good for them.
Yes, it looks like the Brits have also got half a canvas lead. Jane's looking round again, but look, can you see the water? It's chopping up. It's still quite rough at this part of the course, and the rate's beginning to go up. You can see the Americans have lifted the rate slightly. Jane's rate was already pretty high, so we can see how much can the Americans dig deep to get out of this.
Well, they're now back to almost level pegging now. The 2 bow balls are virtually in line, and this is perhaps the moment where the decisive move is going to come. 2:50 to go, and down the Americans fractionally. Well, just as I say that, the 2 British women just push back again.
This is fantastic. It really has been an incredible race between them. The Americans have finally moved from 33 to 37. They've gone right up, but the British have taken back the lead again. They're about half a canvas ahead. Jane Hall at 38 now, and it looks like they're going to just about edge it. The United States are going to have to do a lot to get back on terms. They're up to 39 now, the United States, and it's still very close here.
Linda on the far side looking to raise it again now, and just beginning to do exactly that now with Rachel on the far side. This is another question asked of the British now, and can Jane Hall and Melindy hold them off? They are literally together. We're not quite on the line there. Very difficult to see. Driving towards the line now, the British and the Americans on the top of the picture there, and they've just about done it. A fantastic race which the Americans snatch in the last 50 metres.
incredible finish there, and these two pairs left the rest way, way behind. But how the United States came back again in that last 250 metres and just pipped the British there on the line. But what a great effort from the British pair. Completely new combination there with so little time to get it together.
And a first ever medal for Africa, Zimbabwe finishing in the bronze medal position.
Good 30 seconds there between first and second and then down to third, but what a race it was. I mean, that was one of the closest races all the way down the course that we've seen today.
Yeah, really head-to-head stuff, and it's a pity in such circumstances that there has to be a loser. Well, the Americans had to wait a good hour before they received their gold medals. A little bit of controversy here on the Henley Regatta course. The British protested, complained that they caught some weed on the rudder. The umpire came round. He confirmed that that was exactly right and decided that there should be a re-row between the Americans and the British after a suitable period of recovery. However, that was then considered by FISA, who decided that the result should stand. And I think that's probably the first time that I can remember FISA overturning an umpire's decision. So the British have to settle for silver, but these two from Zimbabwe very, very happy to become the first Africans to achieve a World Championship medal. Jane Lancaster and Nicola Davis.
It's been a full day. It's been a long week waiting to race and then waiting to find out the results. We definitely went the whole roller coaster, realizing that we had won, which took some time. We weren't even quite sure. It was so close for most of the race, and then back down with what's the decision going to be, and waiting, and then kind of coming to terms with that, and then all of a sudden to find out that they had decided it, and so it's right back up again. But a great ending to the day.